Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 10.
A Fargo man is worried about the safety of your kids. He says he's seen children getting off a school bus and nearly get hit by passing vehicles.
Cars don't have to stop just because a bus is dropping off kids, and this man wants to change that. So he called our whistleblower hotline. Valley News Team's Melanie Palmer explains.
Tim Stahl is upset. He lives near West Acres, where there's a lot of traffic. But the school is not so close, and that's why kids have to get on the bus. And that's what has Tim so worked up. He says he's seen a lot of close calls involving children and traffic.
She came from the other direction around the bus, turned in behind the bus into the driveway and right through the group of kids.
He says when a school bus drops off kids in the evening, they only have on their yellow flashing lights, not the red ones. He knows there's kids on board, so he waits, but he says most drivers don't. But they don't have to. State law says traffic only has to stop if a bus driver has those red flashing lights on and puts out the stop arm. And that doesn't happen on multi-lane roads like this one.
And that was the response back, was that it's the laws the way they are, that they don't stop traffic on the street like this.
But still, he doesn't like that.
Be changed, because I think cars driving through groups of kids around the bus doesn't sound right.
We're just trying to keep the students safe.
And it's not just in North Dakota. They follow similar rules across the river in Moorhead. Mike Steffen with Moorhead Public Schools says they avoid stopping on multi-lane roads because of that law.
So we will move a stop to a place in which we can safely use the stop arm.
And as for Tim Stahl, his message for you is be careful around a bus. In the meantime, he's going to work to try to get the law changed. In Fargo, Melanie Palmer, Valley News Live.
West Fargo schools tell us their transportation department follows state laws and city ordinances regarding rules of the road. They also say they don't have a district policy that would override those rules. As mentioned, this story came to us through our whistleblower hotline. And if you need help uncovering fraud and corruption in your community, call our whistleblower hotline at 701-237-6576 and leave your tip. A member of our investigative team will get on the case and go to work to expose the truth.
Quiet weather and rising temperatures, nothing to complain about there, but maybe we'll change our tune this weekend. Until then, Hutch, what are we waking up to tomorrow morning?
Well, we're cooling off rather quickly out there. Still enough of a breeze as we look over downtown Fargo from our locations here at Valley News Live in South Fargo. A few clouds showing up on the satellite, and radars detecting a couple of flakes of snow pushing through the James River Valley heading into our evening. Your hour-by-hour forecast shows that we'll see a fair amount of clouds as we go through the overnight hours. Temperatures not falling too badly, but wind chills first thing in the morning will be in that 15 to 20 below category for many of us to begin our Wednesday. I'll have details on our warming trend. It's rather slow. And then we do have to mention a chance of significant snow as well. Details in a bit.
All right. Thanks, Hutch.
2 men from Montana are in the Douglas County Jail tonight after state troopers say they found over 900 pounds of marijuana in a camper. According to court records, the incident happened on Saturday on I-94 near Alexandria. Troopers say THC concentrate was also found in the camper. The street value of these drugs, around $4 million.
A 15-year-old is dead after a crash in North Dakota's McKenzie County. It happened Monday on Highway 23, about 14 miles east of Watford City. Troopers say the 18-year-old driver of an SUV hit the rear end of an 18-wheeler on Highway 23. The semi-driver was not hurt, but all 4 passengers in the SUV were, including the 15-year-old Elizondo Joe, who died from his injuries. Everyone in the SUV is from Mandaree, North Dakota. The Highway Patrol is still investigating that crash.
Fargo police want you to know about a high-risk sex offender that's living in our area. 28-year-old John Leroy Bussard is now living at 2125 9th Avenue South in Fargo. He's 5 feet 10 inches tall. He weighs 225 pounds. He has green eyes and brown hair. He was convicted in October of 2013 of luring a minor by computer. His victim was a 13-year-old female who he requested nude photos of and asked her to engage in sexual acts through Facebook.
A Minnesota House committee approved a bill that lets the state cap the cost for diabetes medication. Nearly 500,000 people in Minnesota have diabetes. That's 10% of the population. Lawmakers say many of them can no longer afford medication, so now they're trying to do something about it.
To fill 2 vials of this insulin with health insurance cost me $595 for my 1-month supply.
Insulin is air to a person with diabetes. If you don't have access to your insulin, you don't get to live.
Lawmakers are considering a package of insulin bills, including one that sets up emergency insulin dispensaries for people who cannot afford their medication and are in danger of dying because of that.
The skyrocketing price of insulin affects North Dakota residents too. One pharmacist from Mayo Clinic says that there are ways to work around the high cost of insulin.
If there's anything people can actually do, if they're not on Medicare, they need to maximize the manufacturer coupon because that pays real money. It's not like a discount. It's real money for the cost of the drug to reduce your copay. So if you can utilize that, that helps a lot, but you also want to maximize what's on your formulary.
One piece of advice is those who have diabetes and are concerned about affording insulin should reach out to the Diabetes Education Center or their providers.
With more wet snow expected this weekend, experts are warning homeowners to keep an eye on the snow piled on their roofs.
Valley News Team's Katie Opperly explains the signs of damage and the best way to keep your home and your family safe.
Snow. The valley sees more than its fair share, but that snow can do more damage than you may realize as it builds up on the roof of your home.
You have to be worried about cave-ins. I've already been to a whole bunch of them that the roofs caved in. David
McCracken's business removes snow here in Fargo, and he says many don't understand the danger of the snow sitting on your roof.
Your wood 2x4 rafters will not hold it. And you could be sitting in your house and everything's perfect, having toast and coffee. The next thing you know, you be eating 2x4s from your roof caving in.
McCracken says snow often goes unnoticed or ignored, but it could cost you your home or your life.
The only thing is just get this snow off and save your life.
The Insurance Institute for Business and Home Safety warns that as little as 3 to 5 inches of packed snow can put your home at risk. Warning signs include water damage or cracks in the drywall. Some even report hearing cracking sounds prior to a collapse. Fargo Fire Department says snow removal is important, but it has to be done safely. Hiring a professional is often recommended as it can be dangerous work and damaging to rooftops if not done properly. In Fargo, Katie Opperly, Valley News Live.
Snow rakes are often recommended for residents as it removes the snow. It also eliminates the danger of climbing onto slippery rooftops. They can be found in stores like Walmart or Lowe's for about $20 on up.
A burst pipe in Dynasty apartment buildings in Fargo leaves one woman displaced as 2 huge holes hang in her ceiling. Kendra Benson says she heard a loud bang and then she noticed a huge hole in her living room ceiling, followed by another hole shortly after. Benson says she was offered 2 possible causes for the burst pipe.
One, the fire department told me that the pipe had just weakened and then split. And then my management thinks the people upstairs had turned their heat off and it was a burst pipe.
Legacy Plumbing in Fargo says depending on the type of pipe in the building, it could be a weakened pipe, but typically a burst pipe happens from lack of insulation.
18 dogs were killed in a morning fire in an Isanti County, Minnesota dog kennel, destroyed the building that housed them. Fire crews found the kennel building fully involved with fire and in the process of collapsing. They soon learned that the dogs were still inside the structure. At the time, it's uncertain how many of the animals were boarding and how many belonged to the owners. The kennel building slab was heated by warm water brought to temperature by a wood-fueled boiler. The fire chief says there was also natural gas and electricity in the building, but they don't yet know the cause of the fire.
With the dust settling on yesterday's historic visit by the Bison football team to Washington, D.C., NDSU's Matt Larson says the cost of the trip will be in the area of $120,000. The athletic director says they still have a couple outstanding bills. Larson told Valley News Live that the entire cost was paid through fundraising. He says it was well worth it and that everyone who took part will be talking about this for the next 60 years. President Donald Trump invited the team last month.
Pretty cool. Later on